Book 11, The Sustainable Online Livelihood Income Without Inner Collapse, teaches that the deepest purpose of work is not merely earning money, maximizing productivity, or accumulating status, but learning how to participate in life through a form of livelihood that preserves nervous system stability, dignity, ethical integrity, meaningful contribution, and long-term human flourishing. The book argues that many individuals suffer not because they lack ambition or capability, but because modern work cultures often normalize chronic stress, over-identification with achievement, emotional depletion, financial anxiety, endless availability, comparison, burnout, and nervous system exhaustion as unavoidable costs of success. Therefore, the central thesis of Book 11 is deeply restorative and practical. Sustainable livelihood means learning how to earn, contribute, and grow without psychologically abandoning oneself. The book introduces the foundational doctrine that income should support life rather than consume it. Financial stability matters because economic insecurity can destabilize attention, emotional regulation, physical well-being, relationships, sleep, and long-term planning. Yet Book 11 teaches that money becomes harmful when pursued through chronic nervous system activation, emotional self-abandonment, compulsive striving, or identity fusion with performance. Sustainable online livelihood therefore becomes an ethical balance in which work supports peace, embodiment, lawful living, health, relationships, service, scholarship, and emotional dignity, rather than eroding them. In this framework, livelihood is measured not merely through income volume, but through whether one remains psychologically whole while earning. Book 11 reframes success through a nervous system first lens. Traditional economic models often glorify overwork, urgency, hustle, self-sacrifice, sleep deprivation, emotional suppression, endless optimization, and productivity addiction. The book critiques these models as biologically unsustainable and ethically incomplete because they frequently produce burnout, anxiety, loneliness, emotional numbness, strained relationships, declining health, moral compromise, and loss of meaning. Sustainable success, by contrast, is defined as stable contribution supported by regulated energy, ethical clarity, emotional maturity, realistic pacing, recovery, and embodied well-being. Thus, the ethical online professional learns to value consistency over intensity, rhythm over urgency, and peace over performative exhaustion. The book introduces a doctoral level principle for KOLs, educators, ethical AI scholars, adjunct instructors, leaders, and online professionals. Financial well-being and nervous system well-being are interdependent rather than opposing goals. Economic survival matters, yet nervous system collapse undermines professional reliability, judgment, creativity, emotional intelligence, communication quality, learning capacity, and long-term sustainability. Therefore, ethical professionals learn to make livelihood decisions that consider both economic practicality and biological reality. Workload limits, recovery needs, emotional regulation, boundaries, sleep, meaning, values alignment, and sustainable pacing. The mature question becomes not merely, can I earn more, but can I live and contribute sustainably while earning? Book 11 further teaches that a calm livelihood is a profound form of ethics. Individuals who remain regulated, rested, emotionally grounded, and ethically clear often contribute more consistently and compassionately over time than those trapped in cycles of overactivation and collapse. Calmness becomes productive not because it increases immediate speed, but because it preserves long-term functioning, trustworthiness, discernment, patience, and wisdom. Therefore, sustainable livelihood becomes an act of responsibility toward colleagues, family, communities, students, audiences, clients, and society because regulated people tend to create calmer systems around them. The book also reframes work-life balance as nervous system stewardship rather than perfect scheduling. Balance is not portrayed as rigid equality between productivity and rest, but as wise responsiveness to changing conditions. Some periods require deeper work, others require recovery, reflection, healing, study, relationship repair, or simplicity. Ethical online professionals therefore cultivate adaptive rhythms, sleep protection, intentional breaks, emotional processing, exercise or movement, nourishment, solitude, meaningful connection, financial realism, realistic workloads, and technological boundaries. Sustainability emerges through responsiveness rather than perfectionism. Book 11 develops the principle that identity must remain larger than occupation. Modern workers frequently fuse self-worth with income, achievement, job titles, productivity, social visibility, or external validation. Book 11 teaches that livelihood should support human identity, not replace it. A person remains fully human beyond deadlines, income fluctuations, productivity cycles, or professional success. Dignity is inherent rather than earned. Therefore, the mature online professional learns to cultivate values, relationships, rest, embodiment, learning, compassion, spiritual grounding, creativity, and meaning beyond economic performance. The book also addresses fear, scarcity, and financial anxiety through emotional maturity rather than avoidance. Economic uncertainty, unstable markets, career transitions, algorithmic disruption, remote work changes, or technological shifts naturally activate stress responses. Rather than reacting impulsively through overworking, panic, self-criticism, comparison, or despair, Book 11 teaches regulated adaptation, pausing, planning, budgeting, simplifying, skill building, asking for support, protecting recovery, and making thoughtful long-term decisions grounded in clarity rather than fear. Sustainable livelihood therefore becomes resilience embodied. For KOLs, scholars, educators, adjunct instructors, and ethical leaders, Book 11 introduces a profound leadership insight. People trust regulated sustainability more than performative success. Audiences increasingly suffer from burnout, economic insecurity, emotional overload, and productivity pressure. A leader who models ethical pacing, healthy ambition, nervous system stability, humility, sustainable boundaries, realistic work rhythms, and honest humanity becomes psychologically reassuring and trustworthy. In this way, livelihood becomes teaching through embodiment. Book 11 ultimately reframes prosperity through a peace and harmony lens. Meaningful success is not endless accumulation, but sustainable participation in life while remaining emotionally grounded, relationally present, ethically responsible, and fully human. Wealth becomes meaningful when it supports freedom, dignity, contribution, compassion, learning, peace, and service rather than nervous system fragmentation. Ultimately, Book 11 teaches a single cultivating truth to learn by heart and embody daily. A sustainable livelihood protects the person who earns it. Income matters, but inner peace matters too. Success without nervous system stability eventually collapses. Success grounded in regulation becomes contribution, dignity, and freedom. When livelihood supports health, ethics, compassion, and sustainable presence, work becomes not survival alone, but a peaceful participation in life itself.